It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8. Brought to you by Eswatini TV. I'm Sunny Boy and I'm with Zamanzi Manza. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studio in Babane. Your top is at 8. We dive straight into it and we take a look. Minister of Economic Planning and Development says the United Nations plays a key role in Eswatini's development. The Minister for Public Works and Transport says his ministry is working on strategies that will encourage Eswatini to use public transport in order to reduce the number of vehicles on the roads. The Eswatini National Career Expo has kicked off under the theme, the National Career Expo is enforcing skills and entrepreneurship for inclusive economic growth in the 21st century. Again, for the news in detail, Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambogina, says the United Nations plays a key role in Eswatini's development. Dr. Gini says it is for these and other reasons that the government must continue to work closely with the agency. The minister has been speaking during the review of the youth plan for year 2023.
The United Nations has a 5-year plan for the Kingdom of Eswatini, which has been in motion since 2021. At the beginning of each year, the UN plan is reviewed and adopted by a joint national steering committee. In this year's meeting, Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambogina, said the UN was a key partner for Eswatini.
What I'd like to say throughout our discussions are certain things being mainstreamed in the context of Eswatini. One of them is youth. All aspects, employability, upskilling, all the kinds of things that we need, even producing, dealing with the boy child who's going to grow up not be susceptible to gender-based violence because he has confidence and he is able to deal with the other side with confidence without coming up with this animal behavior that we're seeing.
UN Resident Coordinator George Wachira unpacked key areas of their plan for 2023.
The first component, which we call outcome, has to do with inclusive economic growth. Focus area number 2 is in terms of human resource capacities. The third area has to do with governance and institutions. The fourth area has to do with environmental sustainability.
Wachira said their cooperation with government was key to the success of all their plans. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
The Minister for Public Works and Transport, Chief Ndladla Ndwandwe, says his ministry is working on strategies that will encourage Eswatini to use public transport in order to reduce the number of vehicles on the roads. The minister says they are also looking to promote cycling. Minister Ndwandwe was speaking during the 7th United Nations Safety Week held virtually.
The United Nations Road Safety Week is commemorated every 2 years with the aim of having sustainable mobility. The 2023 theme calls for policymakers to rethink mobility. Speaking in a virtual meeting, Minister of Public Works and Transport Chief Ndladla Ndwandwe says there is a need to promote other modes of transport such as cycling.
Road safety campaigns are to emphasize the road safety principles that underpin shared road use by all, including that they should not encroach on the space reserved for non-motorized vehicle users, and also give them the right of way at crossings and junctions. This will result in reduced road crashes and further promote green living. Eswatini has ordinarily had a large population of commuters using public transport as a means of transport. This scenario has changed in the recent times, with shift towards more people using their own vehicles as opposed to the use of buses and minibuses. This can contribute to increased buying power, resulting in the increase in the purchase of affordable second-hand vehicles within the country and the resultant boom of vehicles on the road.
The Road Safety Week is usually packed with activities that are in line with the global plan for the Decade of Action 2021-2030. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni, Themba Shabangu, Ezulwini.
The Eswatini National Career Expo 2023 has kicked off under the theme National Career Expo is enforcing skills and entrepreneurship for inclusive economic growth in the 21st century. The Career Expo was launched at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mbabane.
The National Career Expo has the full backing of a government that wants to see the youth of Eswatini succeed. This is evident in that 3 government ministries, that is education, youth, as well as labor, joined hands to make this expo a success.
The Minister of Education and Training is pleased to collaborate with sister sectors and to be part of this year's National Career Expo and today's launch, which affords our children the opportunity, a platform for dialogue where critical information from different academic and TVET institutions is shared in one platform.
With approximately 60% of our youth struggling to find jobs, such events are imperative as they give our youth a wide array of options to choose from when they decide on their career path. This Career Expo also focuses on areas where there are urgent challenges and exciting potential for young people to take action.
The Eswatini Career Expo is a national event that endeavors to close some of the gaps with the view to reduce the youth unemployment rate. The Expo wants to address the entrepreneurial skills and information gaps among the in and out of school youth and the marginalized youth as they prepare to explore their career options and the possible opportunities available to them in the job market.
This National Expo will be decentralized to all 4 regions of the country, as regional meetings will be held on different dates until the 24th of this month. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela with Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
The 1 billion Rising Campaigns Coordinator in the Southern Africa region, Colin Tlhatswago, says so far they are happy with the statistics of women who have registered for the national elections. Tlhatswago says women and young people should take note that they need to take part of all the 2020 election processes. Tlhatswago said these when assuring women that they stand a chance to be in leadership positions.
In recent statistics issued by Eswatini Elections and Boundaries Commissions shows that over 36,000 people have registered for elections, where 18,000 are women. The 1 billion Risings Campaigns Coordinator in the Southern Africa, Xolani Tlhatswago, says they encouraged every Liswati to be part of the national elections. She said people should make right choices, especially men and youth. Tlhatswago says while they were able to visit different chiefdoms, Emati were now fully capacitated on leadership. Tlhatswago says the Maswati are now aware of how leadership works, especially in all sectors, starting from their families, communities, and the country at large.
See 1 billion it's also an opportunity for women who have made their informed decision to participate. Participate, and we know the process. In every leadership position, kunema stages, kunema processes. So if they miss the first stage or the first process, batati kanza sebaluza labamake kuti bati kanze babe khona lapha elikhethweni. So sithi kumake lo wakhe sinqumo sekuthi ufuna kwakha kuthi abe khona atimbanza kanye ekukhetheni labo laba sebuholini banaye abaholini. So le step is lesson sona si very important nangabe akhele so sinqumo leso.
The registration process started on the 10th of May 2023 and is expected to close on the 24th of June 2023. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni, Themba Shabangu, Matapa.
The Eswatini National Council of Arts and Culture has been encouraged to ensure that artists are paid when they are required to render performances or services. According to the NCAC CEO, Stanley Lamini, he says arts and culture councils across the world have been encouraged to safeguard artists' freedom in being creative in a responsible manner. Lamini was speaking in Manzini following his participation in the Arts and Culture Summit held in Sweden.
The Kingdom of Eswatini participated in the World Summit on Arts and Culture organized by the International Federation of Arts, Council and Culture Agencies. The 9th summit was focused on safeguarding artistic freedom. The Chief Executive Officer of Eswatini National Council of Arts and Culture, Stanley Dlamini, says some of the things that were deliberated on was to encourage the council to watch closely some of the works that artists do in terms of taking responsibility. Dlamini says the council is also encouraged to ensure that artist mobility is guaranteed, especially to try and eliminate traveling barriers.
Besikhuluma indaba ye-artist mobility. Kusayakhona yini ama-artist vele kuhamba cishe onke emave nokukhululeka angabekela imicabo lethile.
Dlamini further says they were encouraged to ensure that artists are paid everything that is due to them in performances to realities.
Ama-artist ayaperforma njengabhadaleka. Uthi uyahlola kulamanye emave ayabhadaleka imisebenzi yawo nama-royalty. Lokusho ukuthi kanjani isakateni yakhona ngaba yakhona invele kubhadaleka lelungelo lelo.
Dlamini says countries were also advised that they need to make sure that artists receive a fair chance in being part of festivals and activities happening across all countries. Dlamini stated that the council, together with the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Culture, is working hard in ensuring that artists are developed in Eswatini. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni Themba Shabangu, Babane.
Coming in from the High Court, the Crown is opposing a bail application filed by a convict who wants his sentence. Convictions decide. The convict was sentenced to 3 years without an option of a fine for contravening the Theft of Motor Vehicles Act of 1991. The convict has told the court that one of his grounds for review was that he was tried by a court sitting at a police station where he was arrested, tortured and detained. Eswatini TV's Temgo Simafemela has more on that story.
Sibusiso Jonathan Khumalo was convicted for the theft of a motor vehicle. Khumalo was sentenced to 3 years without an option of a fine by the Matsapa Circuit Court, which is housed at a Eswatini police station. Khumalo has since filed an urgent bail application before the High Court, seeking to set aside his sentence and conviction. Khumalo told the court that one of his grounds for review is that his trial was in a court housed by a police station where he was arrested, tortured and detained. Khumalo told the court that he had no legal representation during trial and therefore he did not know that pleading guilty meant admitting all elements of the crime. Khumalo submitted that the elements of contravening the Theft of a Motor Vehicle Act of 1991 include the intention to deprive the owner of the motor vehicle permanently. Khumalo alleged that he only wanted to use the vehicle for 2 days and return it. He told the court that he wanted to be admitted to bail so he could bury his mother who died last year. Khumalo alleged that he was the only one who could bury his mother as his siblings did not care about her. He told the court that his mother was a civil servant who lived in a government house at the time of her death, whose property has been in that house since her death in July last year. Khumalo submitted that government wanted to use the house but couldn't because he is the only one who could take the property. The Crown is opposing this application. Khumalo is represented by Kumblani Msibi in this matter. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, High Court.
More news for you in the world of business as we get a sense of how markets fared today in a financial report.
It can be.
Haleluya, dumisani simakathe. Mdumiseni ngekushaya icilongo, nimdumise ngehabhu nangedigitali. Mdumiseni ngetigubhu nangekugitsa. Nimdumise ngetinzambo nangelithusi. Sengiso lesi sikhathi, it's another season lapho khona sidumisa khona uNkulunkulu wemazulu. Hlanganyela nathi ekudumiseni uNkulunkulu lapho emakhwaya lasathuthukile nalawo lasafufuza aletha indumiso uNkulunkulu wemabandla. Hlanganyela nathi njalo ngemasonto ekuseni naseyigabence insimbi yesiphohlongo ekuseni kuphindze kube umsombuluko naseyigabence insimbi yelishumi ekuseni. We praise. To God be the glory. Busisela mzalwane ukubukela umculo wemadodana ahlabelela adumisa uNkulunkulu. Amadodana nendumiso luhlelo utovuseleleka emoyeni uphindze udumise nelidodana sibabade longabonwa ngemehlo. Phakama Nkosi yemazulu luthumbolunge lwakho. Amadodana nendumiso.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into the news bulletin at 8 here at Eswatini TV. Sincere apologies for that technical glitch. We now take a look at news making headlines in the world of sports. Eswatini Network of Women patron, who's also the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Polile Shakantu, says there should be a balance in sports competitions in terms of the prize money received by both male and female teams. Shakantu was speaking during a netball jersey presentation for teams who will compete in a netball tournament at Sikwe Ngundla this coming weekend.
In a bid to promote netball in the country, especially in the Shiselon region, Eswatini Network of Women has started netball in the Sikwe constituency with a package of 100,000 emalangeni. Patron of the Eswatini Network of Women, who also happens to be the Minister of Justice, Polile Shakantu, says it is high time women also get good sponsorship.
Badlalela ema-league ema-tournament kuphume imali letinkulu bese bodzase ukhanze ukuthi kutawuthiwa nje ninedlalani nibe bo-curtain raiser kubete inkomishi leniyitfolako kubete imali leniyitfolako sithi-ke namuhla siye-Eswatini Network of Women lo mncane wenu uyaba inkulungwane nitawuba sive lesikhulu nani nibodzatse sisukumele loko si-Eswatini Network of Women.
Minister for Tingundlo, who also happens to be the Member of Parliament of Sikwe constituency, uploaded the sponsorship. Demhlanga Smelanos, the chairperson of netball at the Paul community, thanked the Eswatini Network of Women for the kind gesture.
Sakubonga kakhulu kumake lasendele kona asathi nethi singabonga sithini but siphakamisa kubonga lokukhulu sisikwe sisho njalo nje sithi nawe sikwe awumncinyana.
The games will be played this coming week at Sikwe constituency. Moving on in football, Green Mamba being the champions of the Premier League, they were in race with Young Buffaloes up for the last minute, which proved that the standard of local football has improved, according to the league's title sponsor MTN. Comments from both Green Mamba coach and captain Mkondwe that they have worked hard since the beginning of the season.
We had good times and bad times. We lost, we drew, we won. But sibambisene kuyo yonke leyo ndlela leyo. At times we had to put them beyond what they can take, beyond their comfort. Sometimes we demanded more than they can give, but besihluleka sibabona ukuthi bayakhona. The trophy, it's my rebirth. It's a blessing to Green Mamba. I appreciate it very much.
Behind the scene, nabo coach. Badlali basho bakhombisile ukuthi imisela ikusuka icala isizini, although zange saqala kahle, saqala kabi, but sikhonile pick up ezisahamba isizini kuze kube namuhla.
Green Mamba are 1 million richer as champions for the time in their history. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports, I'm Linda Dlamini.
Well, with those sports news, we hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Before we go, a quick reminder of news making headlines tonight. Minister of Economic Planning and Development says the United Nations plays a key role in Eswatini's development. The Minister for Public Works and Transport says his ministry is working on strategies that will encourage Eswatini to use public transport in order to reduce the number of vehicles on the roads. The Eswatini National Career Expo has kicked off under the theme National Expo Enforcing Skills and Entrepreneurship for Inclusive Economic Growth in the 21st Century. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini. We've hit the conclusion of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the weather center and we detail the report from us and the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.